Thanks for joining us. Eagle Valley football is gearing up for another game this weekend, and they're coming off of their first win of the season. We talked with head coach Chris Lake to find out what that win last weekend was like for his program and what his team needs to do in order to pick up their second win of the year. So we're down here at Eagle Valley, and it's a new week for the football program. A big win last week over Evergreen, your first of the season. But now we got a new week in front of us. We got Conifer coming right here to the field Friday night. What are your thoughts ahead of this matchup?
Just staying focused, keeping the team focused after a big win. It's different than the last 2 weeks before that, so we got to keep the guys humble, keep them working hard, and keep them, getting better this week.
Okay, and what's kind of been the main focus in practice this week? You kind of told me just getting better, but can you elaborate a little on that?
Yeah, I mean, just getting guys to do their assignments, more consistently, getting them, every time to do what we're telling them to instead of playing a little bit on their own, and just, making sure we're making the plays that we need to.
Okay, and let's go back to last weekend against Evergreen. Your first win as head coach of this program, not to mention the first win of this season. How fired up was that locker room after that game with Evergreen?
It was definitely a different vibe this week for sure. Yeah, tons of energy. Our crowd was awesome this week. They gave us a lot of energy during the game. Our student section was going crazy. They rushed the field after the win, so it was an exciting win for this program, and I'm happy to have my first win as a head coach here.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's an exciting game to always, come out victorious, get that first W on the schedule. But thinking in the grand scheme of things, I know you're a head coach, you like to think one game at a time, but how important is a win like this for the whole season?
Well, yeah, it sets the season up, right? If we don't win a game, we don't get the season started. So, yeah, it sets us up good. We got, some good matchups these next couple of weeks, we think, for ourselves. And, that'll help us carry on into league, and hopefully we be successful there.
Okay, and I was watching y'all practice some special teams later in today's practice. How confident are you in the kicking abilities right now?
We're good. So we are missing a guy this week. Nate, our normal kicker, got a concussion, so he's out for the week. So got some new guys in there kicking, but they're stepping up and they're doing a great job. So we're confident in them.
Okay. Any emphasis on maybe going for it a little more on fourth down, or you think the kicking abilities are going to be there come Friday?
That's kind of my emphasis all the time. Unless we're pinned down on our own side, we're going for it most of the time on fourth down. So not much of a change there. Confidence-wise, we're still confident with the guys that we have, and when we call their number, we'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. And what can you kind of tell me about this Conifer team?
Scouting them this year, it seems like maybe they're a younger team. Not sure about that. I didn't necessarily study their roster, but, they're going to come and play football. They're going to be tough just like they always are. And, we feel like we have good matchups across the board. So we think we can take advantage of that, and it should be a successful game for us.
Okay. And any lessons learned against Evergreen last week that you're looking to carry over into this game and hopefully come out on top of Conifer?
Yeah, our defense was outstanding in the Evergreen game. So we just need to bring our offense up to speed, have them help our defense a little bit more, take the pressure off them. We keep putting our defense in tough situations, and they keep standing up for us, so that's great. We just need to get the offense to come along a little bit this week.
Okay, and one more practice before that game. You got one more Thursday practice before Friday night lights hit. What's going to be the main focus in that practice?
Just cleaning everything up and getting focused for the game. Yep.
Okay, and last question for me. How important would a win be against Conifer to go back-to-back W's, have, 2-2 on the schedule?
Yeah, that's something that hasn't happened here in a few years, so it would be absolutely huge, and we expect that to happen. That is our expectation for this week, and then roll on into Niawot next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Taking a look now at some games around the Valley. As we discussed, Eagle Valley will be on the hunt for their second win of the season, looking to bat 500 on the year, and will play in a matchup with Conifer Friday at 4 p.m. Vail Christian, they've got a home game, their third of the season, not at home, but game of the year, against McClave after falling to Lyons County last weekend in a tough matchup. And Glenwood Springs playing neighboring Basalt. They'll match up Friday as well. So for the first time since 2019, Battle Mountain High Volleyball picked up their first win over rival school Eagle Valley. We're going to reflect on that night and what it was like to win that game for senior Dulce Orona. And joining me now is the senior Dulce Orona. Final thoughts on tonight's matchup. You guys got the win over Eagle Valley for the first time since 2019. You've never seen this happen before in your career as a Husky. What are your thoughts right now?
I just feel like very proud of our team and how we stuck together. We really just pulled out the 2-set win after losing those first two. And I'm really proud of us just in general of how we stuck together as a team.
And you guys go down 0-2. You guys are in the hole down 2 sets. Then you come back, put up 2 quick sets, and then you win the third. What does that kind of say about the resilience of this squad? You know, not about to give up at any point during this game, although times may be looking bad at certain points in the matchup.
Yeah, our team, I feel, is very disciplined, and they really wanted to win this game, not only just because it was Eagle Valley, but for Lauren as well. And it was just a huge honor for us to like keep playing, and we just wanted to win so bad.
Okay. And what's next for you guys? You guys got this big game against Palisade tomorrow. What do you guys need to be focusing on ahead of this matchup? You know, you don't have a lot of turnaround time to stop and think. You know, it's going to be a couple hours of celebration, then it's back to that grind. What do you guys need to be focusing on in this next matchup?
I think we need to come in with the same energy we had for this match into Palisade. Palisade is a very challenging game for us, and I feel that if we come in with the same energy, same want to win, we will definitely give them a challenge for the game and hopefully win.
And Palisade's no Eagle Valley in terms of rivalry to y'all, but they're still somewhat of a rival school for y'all. How big and important or just magical would it be if you guys stepped on the court and caught another win against a rival school back to back?
It'd be very big for us. I just feel like as a team, like it would mean so much to us just because we haven't been doing very well the past few years. So winning Eagle Valley and then Palisade would be just a huge win overall for us.
Okay, and what needs to happen going into that matchup with Palisade in order to walk out the doors of that gym with a W on your schedule?
We need to just really all stick together, stick with the same discipline, and keep the same grit of just wanting to win and pushing points.
Yeah, and tonight, you know, could be a good example of what you may want to accomplish on the court in terms of playing that next game. What are some takeaways you had from tonight that you may want to exemplify in your next matchup tomorrow with Palisade?
Yeah, so I just want to keep like reiterating the fact that we just stuck with the game. Even losing, being down 2 sets, we kept playing our hardest and we played our best, and that's how we won.
Is there anything you told your girls as a senior, you know, any words of wisdom you kind of passed on when you guys were in the hole down 2 sets to keep them fired up and keep them in this game?
Well, really, we just all talked about how much we wanted to win this game and how much it would mean to us. And just because we had lost those first 2 sets didn't mean we were going to lose the game. We still had the grit. We still had the determination to want to win.
Okay, any final thoughts you want to add? Big night for y'all.
I'm very proud of our team right now. That's fine.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Great win tonight for Battle Mountain High School over Eagle Valley. You can catch them Tuesday night as they take on their other rival school, Palisade. Now we'll hit the soccer field where Vail Mountain School was looking to pick up their 5th win of the season against longtime rival Ski Town Aspen. After a goal within the first 30 seconds of the game, Rutley Heineman hits the deck and picks up the free kick. He'll nail it, and the Gore Rangers go up 2-0. Then it's Heineman again, driving inside. He'll slip it past the defense and roll it left of the keeper to get Vail Mountain School their 3rd goal of the day. Vail Mountain School working together now to set up the shot. The ball finds who else but Heineman again, and he'll let it rip, and this kid does not miss. Gore Rangers go up 4-0 on rival Ski Town Aspen. Evan Sapp set up now with the free shot at the goal. Whistle blows, and he'll make his move to the ball. Does not disappoint as he comes up with Vail Mountain School's 5th goal of the day. Heineman back with the ball, and he'll find his teammate Will Roy, who hits what looks like the upper 90, and the Gore Rangers go up 6-0. Vail Mountain School will take this one home in dominant fashion as they knock off Aspen for their 5th win of the year, 8-0. We talked with goalkeeper Hunter Iverson after the game. So big win today for VMS boys soccer. They caught the 8-0 win over rival Ski Town Aspen. Joining me right now, the goalkeeper Hunter Iverson. No shots in the goal today for you, right? How did that feel?
It felt good. I felt confident in my defense. They were holding it down for me.
And what was it like? What did you see from your offense that you like so much? Rutley here scoring a number of goals, but what did you like in particular that stood out to you in this game from your boys up front?
Their passing was really good, and they made a lot of runs getting open for themselves, and yeah, proud of that.
I always hear that Aspen and Vail, they have this kind of bitter rivalry when it comes to ski towns. How good does it feel to just get that shutout win over the rival ski town here in Colorado?
Definitely feels good to get the win, have something to hold over them, and yeah, for sure.
Okay, and what kind of preparation went into this game? You knew that they weren't going to be as high a caliber opponent as maybe Steamboat or some of the other teams you've seen this year. What kind of preparation did you guys just work on this week with Coach Kevin Ives?
We worked on mostly staying composed on the ball and working and surveying options on the field.
Okay, and a big game coming up next. You're on this stretch that you're going to face a lot of good teams, it seems like, back-to-back. Colorado Academy, you got to make the trip down I-70 to Denver. That's a tough team, arguably maybe the best team in the state this year. What do you guys need to work on to get prepared for that matchup?
We're going to work on being more unified as a team, working better together. There is some separation in the team, but we can bring that together, and I believe if we do that, then we'll have a chance in that game.
Okay, and speaking of Colorado Academy still, they're a tough caliber opponent, like I've said, but what really sticks out to you about that team? Have you seen them, you've seen them maybe a little bit. This is your first year on varsity, but what do you know about Colorado Academy that you've really got to be prepared for?
They have definitely a lot of high-skilled players and have to watch out for that. Obviously, athleticism too, and just be prepared for that.
Okay, and back to this week, Tuesday, you guys pick up the win against Rifle. That felt good. A lot of crowd noise from this Rifle fan base, too. A lot of noise you guys had to keep out of your heads. How good does it feel to just be 2-0 on the week?
It definitely feels good. We went into this week knowing that we would have two pretty tough games, and it definitely feels good to get 2 wins in a week.
Right on, Hunter. Anything you want to add?
Nope. That's it.
Awesome. Vail Mountain School 2-0 this week. Stick around. We've got more player interviews coming. All right, so Vail Mountain School just knocked off rival ski town school Aspen, and joining me, the midfielder, the junior, Rutley Heineman. You may know him as All-State. Mr. Heineman, how did it feel to just get on that field and score 3 goals today?
It was definitely a lot of fun. I don't know. It's always fun being back on the field and playing with the team, and just, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun.
8 goals scored today, no goals punched into your side of the field. What's your biggest takeaway from how y'all played on both sides of the ball? Protecting the goal, but also just on the attack.
I don't know. Kind of just we're starting to come together fully as a team, and we're starting to gain a lot of momentum. We've got 4 wins in a row right now, and we're trying to take that into a very good CA team.
Okay, and you just brought up Colorado Academy. They're kind of, that enemy on the board that you guys always want to take down, but, look forward to playing because they make you better as a squad. How do you think, 2 wins, going 2-0 this week is going to help build confidence entering that tough matchup with Colorado Academy?
Definitely just brings in a lot of good momentum coming into the next week. We are away, but I think it's just going to be a fun, good game. It's going to be just a grind game. I don't know, low scoring. It's going to be a lot of fun. They definitely got a lot of skilled players. Everyone is good on the ball on their team. We just got to kind of play consistent and good, strong defense and offense.
Okay, and back to Aspen, this wasn't the highest caliber team you guys have seen this season, but going back to the past, they've been tough for y'all to play against in the past. I know you've only been in the Valley a short amount of time relatively, but how have you kind of seen this rivalry build between Aspen and your school, Vail Mountain School?
It's definitely built a little bit. I don't know. We've kind of had them kind of consistently over the years, but I don't know. Kind of hoping next year for a little bit more competition. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but they're definitely. It's definitely nice to get the win over them. Yeah.
Okay, and beginning of the season, you guys were telling me you want to run it back. After 5 games or so on the season on your belt already, has the expectations for this year changed at all?
No, it hasn't changed. We're still going for the state championship. We're still trying to go back to back. Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
Okay, and we've kind of hit sort of a midway point in the season, but what's really changed about this team from last year's team that's really stood out to you?
I think kind of just we got a good young core, and everyone is starting to come together. We're starting to build that good chemistry. We're starting to get comfortable on the field with each other. And that's, I think, just the key to this team and just going forward throughout the whole entire season.
Okay, and final thoughts from me, but you guys have this difficult stretch coming up. You got Colorado Academy, not to mention a couple of other schools, that could challenge you along the way. What do you guys need to be focused on this week and the rest of the season in order to get back to that 2A state championship matchup?
I kind of just think keeping the morale up, not getting nervous, like going in there with confidence, and kind of just taking it to them, just not getting down, just being ready for them and saying that like we can play with them, and we're not just because we're a 2A school it doesn't mean that we can't play with them. I think that we are better than a 2A school, personally. So I think it's going to be good games for us. It's going to obviously make our team better, and it's going to be a fun kind of stretch. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's it.
Little Gore Rangers, go Gore Rangers.
Yeah, come on, Gore Rangers, let's go.
Awesome. All right. Vail Mountain School with probably the matchup of the year on the schedule coming up against Colorado Academy. So stay tuned for that matchup. Over the weekend, 22nd ranked CU football took on longtime rival Nebraska for the first time since 2019. Big Red fans made themselves heard at Folsom Field and were hoping to steal one on the road after dropping their season opener, but Coach Prime and the Buffs determined to keep the hype alive in Boulder. Prime talked about his defense not looking amazing on paper last weekend against TCU, but assured everyone they're legit and would prove it against the Cornhuskers. Jeff Sims calls for the snap, the ball hits the deck, and it's a fight for the football. But the home team will come away with it. The week prior, the Huskers turned the ball over 4 times and were not off to a good start in week 2. Fast forward to the second quarter, Huskers back with the ball. Sims throws, and it's picked off by Cameron Silman Craig. Buffs take over deep in Nebraska territory, and it doesn't take long to make the magic happen on offense. Shedeur Sanders, eyeing his man Tarvarish Dawson the entire time, will let it fly, and the catch is made for 6. Buffs go up on Nebraska 10-0, and they'll stay cooking in the second half, but not before Nebraska makes things interesting with a 57-yard run to the crib from quarterback Jeff Sims. Huskers make it a 6-point game and look to be back in it, but CU will fix that narrative. Sanders, looking downfield, fits it through a tight window to Xavier Weaver for the second CU touchdown of the day. Colorado starting to feel comfortable. Moving on to the fourth quarter, the Buffs will put that nail in the coffin with an 8-yard touchdown run from Dawson. Not a lot of fight from Nebraska in this one, but Shedeur Sanders said this matchup became personal as soon as the Huskers stepped on the field.
We go out there, warm up. You got the head coach for the other team trying to stand in the middle of the buff. Like, it's okay if like some couple players do it, it's fine, you know. Like, just enjoy the scenery. But when you got the whole team trying to disrespect it, then I'm not going for that at all. So I went in there and disrupted it. The coach said a lot of things about my pops, about the program, but now that he want to act nice, I don't respect that, because you hating on another man, you shouldn't do that. So it was just, all respect was gone for them in their program.
So some strong words there from Sanders regarding his feelings towards the Huskers, stepping on that Buffs logo at center field, but his squad can take a deep breath and relax as they more than handled Nebraska. With the win over Nebraska, Colorado moves up a couple spots in the most recent AP poll and now sit at number 18 in the country. They remain the only team in the Centennial State to be ranked inside the top 25. Looking to next week, week 3, for the Buffs, there's a lot to be excited about as they play in-state rival CSU. For the first time since 2019, that Rocky Mountain Showdown will be played again in Colorado. The Buffs will not only host the Rams, but they'll also host College Game Day for the first time since 1996 as the popular ESPN show makes its way to Boulder from Tuscaloosa. Now, the Buffs weren't the only football team in the Centennial State with an outstanding performance. D2 school Colorado Mesa University took on FCS opponent San Diego in the Golden State. Mesa would knock off the Division I school 28-21 in overtime. Normally, you use a higher caliber opponent to gauge your own team, but head coach of Mesa, Miles Kochever, told me at our Mac Media Day he had other plans entering the matchup with San Diego. What makes it a successful game, walking out of San Diego and taking the bus back to Grand Junction after finishing that game?
Go win. No, and good question, but you know we're playing them all to win, but you know we want to go down there and we got to grow as a team. It's a preseason game, so that doesn't count on our record for the RMAC, and we want to control the RMAC. So we need to be able to get better, and we got to make sure that we continue to grow as a team throughout that game.
Coach Kirchever and the Mavericks would go on to beat San Diego, picking up their first win against an FCS opponent since 2001. So that's a big deal for the RMAC Conference school. And taking a look now at the Division II AFCA coaches poll, CSU, Pueblo, and Western Colorado have jumped into the conversation as they join the top 25. Mines continuing to sit comfortably at number 2, but Mesa staying out altogether as they fell in week 1 at home to Texas A&M Kingsville, but will start RMAC conference play this week, so they'll be a team to keep your eye on after the huge upset in San Diego last weekend. Finally, the Denver Broncos took the field for the first time this season at Mile High Stadium, and unfortunately we saw a lot of similarities from last season. Broncos didn't put on much of a show as they practically mirrored the Raiders' stats here, ultimately falling to Las Vegas 16-17 in a mediocre, as I would say, season opener. So the Broncos will try their luck again this weekend. It's week 2 now as the Washington Commanders, who are 1-0 on the season, will come to Mile High Stadium, and that game is slated for a 2:25 p.m. kickoff. Make sure to continue coming back to us for all the latest sports coverage around the Valley and beyond. We'll see you next time.